Hello everyone, welcome to BISP Solutions. I am Preeti, working here as Oracle Fusion Functional and PPM Consultant. So in today's session, we will discuss how to create the project through the FBDI file. But first, we will discuss the SLA configurations that are required for the revenue recognition at the time of generating invoice in the project module. We left this topic for discussion on the fourth session, so I will continue with that topic and then we will discuss how to create the project through the FBDI file. So when we will create the invoice, the AR invoice in the project module, on that time two events will take place. First is we have to create the invoice, and the another one is it will generate the revenue. So we will directly transfer that revenue to the general ledger module in the application. For that, how system will pick the accounts for the accounting of that revenue, we have to configure the SLA configuration in the project module for the revenue recognition. Let's move to our application. For the SLA configuration, you have to go to the setup and maintenance. And then in the setup area, you have to select it as project financial management. Now in the functional area, you have to select project accounting. You can see the functional area project accounting, click on it, and now you have to go to the account rule. For the revenue purpose, we pass the entry, that is receivable account debit to revenue account. Now you have to create account rules for the default debit and default credit account. When you will create or when you will generate the AR invoice, what should be the default entry and what should be the default accounts that should be picked by the application. You have to mention those debit account and credit account in the account rules, and you have to same associate in the line rule set. For creating the new account rule, you have to click on this add icon. Give the name here. Here you have to select the chart of accounts. Now what should be the rule type? Here you can have three options, that is account combination, segment, value set. So we are creating this rule type for the account combination. Now scroll down and come to the rules field and click on add icon. In the value type, we will take as constant. Now here you have to select the account combination. Search for account receivable account. click on OK, and now click on save and close. So we have created the default debit account that system will pick at the time of creation of revenue entry, and now click on add icon for creating the default accounting combination for the credit entry. Again, select the chart of accounts for this rule. We will select here account combination, and now you have to add the rule here. Select the constant value, and in the account combination you have to search for revenue account. Let's take this account. Now click on save and close. So we have created two account rules, one is for debit and another one is for credit. So where you have to associate these default account combinations, go to the manage subledger journal entry rule set, and let's duplicate from the external revenue subledger journal entry rule set. Here select your chart of accounts, then only you will be able to see those segments which is available under this chart of accounts that you are selecting here. So this is the chart of accounts that we are working with. Click on save and close. this is the account combination rule for these journal line rules. So we have to set for each line rule our default accounting combination for debit and credit. So there is only one type of debit, that is there is only one type of receivable, but there can be multiple type of revenues that you want to recognize. So here we will attach our account combination rule in the debit and credit. So whenever system will create the entry for the revenue, system will by default will pick the debit or credit accounts from this journal entry rule set that we are configuring here. And if you want any specific account to be picked by creation of any of these revenues, then you will configure that account here in the segment rules. First we will associate our debit and credit that we have created for default purpose. Now in the revenue unbilled receivable, we will associate the default accounting combination that we have created for the debit entry. And now we will click on save and close, and after that we will create some specific segment rules for some revenues accounts, and we will associate the same here in the account field. Click on save and close. Again go back to the task account rule, and now we will create revenue accounts for some specific revenue accounts. Click on this add icon. Let's create the specific revenue account for the labor purpose. Associate your chart of accounts here. And now here in the rule type, we are creating this rule type for the segment, that is for the account segment. So we will select here segment, click on this add icon, we will add the rule here. Select the constant value here. So we have to give the segment name here, that is accounts. Therefore this system is throwing the error. Now when you will select the segment, below here you have to mention the segment name for which you want to create this rule. So we are creating the rule for the account segment. Click on add icon for adding the rules. Click on constant here, and now you have to provide the constant value for this labor revenue account. So there is no specific account for the labor revenue. Let's take it as domestic revenue. Click on save and create another. Again select here segment, and under segment we have to create the account for the account segment. Click on this add icon. Select the constant value here. Click on search, and let's search whether we have any revenue account for the miscellaneous purpose. So we have specific account for revenue miscellaneous. Select this account and click on save and create another. So there is no specific account for supplier revenue. Let's take any of them for now. Again select the constant value here and let's search whether we have any specific account for event revenue. In the real-time project you will get these accounts. These are the seeded accounts that are provided by the Oracle. So let's take any one of them for now. Now click on save and close. So what we have done now, we have created the specific account rules, and now we will associate these account rules in the line rule set. Search for the journal entry rule set that we have created. Click on edit icon. So we have created for the event revenue, go to the segment rules. Associate your account rule here, then go to the labor revenue, now what system will do, for the account rules that we have associated under segment rules, it will be override by the default accounting combination rule that we have given here, and for the rest of the revenue accounts it will pick from the default debit accounts. When you will mention the segment rules, when you will mention the account rules under the segment rules, then system will pick from here, and if you are not mentioning here under the segment rules, then system will pick from the default account combination rules that you have provided here. Now click on save and close. This is how you can configure the SLA setups for the revenue recognition in the project module. Now our next topic for today is how to create the projects through the FBDI file. For that you have to search for the Oracle repository, Oracle Enterprise repository. From here you will download the FBDI file for importing the projects. Now go to the cloud applications, and under ERP you will find the project management. Click on it. Now click on all books. Here it is showing the version of the application. If you want to check the same, then go to your application, then go to setting and actions and click on this about this application. So this is 23B, and you have to download the file for the same. This is also 23B, and now go to all books. Under implementation, go to the FBDI for project management, file based data import. Click on HTML, and under project foundation you will get the file that is for import projects. Click on it. These are the tasks that you can configure with this file. You can upload the projects, task, transaction controls, team members, classifications, project non-labor resources, task dependencies, team member progress, project codes and task codes. And this is the schedule process for importing this file to your interface table. Now click on this file. Enable it for editing, and now go to the options. Here you can disable the options. Say if you want to use only project financial management, keep it as yes, and for the rest of the options you can select no here. Now go to the projects here, give the project name, source template number or name. Let's create one source template in the application. Go to the setting and actions. Click on setup and maintenance. Select project financial management here. Go to project foundation. This is the task that is manage project template. Mention the business unit name here. Select project type here. And click on save and continue. We will go to basic information and we'll add project plan type to this template. click on done. So we have given the project name, project number, source template number, source template name. Now here you can give the organization, legal entity. Mention the legal entity name here. Project description is optional, so these fields are optional. You can fill out the details related to project manager here. Project manager number, name, email. Now here we will put the start date of this project. From the comment section you can see the format of the start date that you have to enter into the Excel sheet. It is YYYMMDD. Also you can give the finish date here. This is the date format. You can also give the close date, project status here, and these are the details that you can fill out as per your requirement. You can give the service type, code, work type, limit to transaction controls. In the comment section you can see how it works. If you are giving Y, that means it is inclusive, and if you are giving N, then it is exclusive, and if you are leaving it blank, then it will also considered as exclusive. And if you are dealing in capitalized project, then you can mention the details here. But we are creating this project for the billable purpose. If you are also dealing in intercompany transaction in your project, then you can fill out the cross charge transactions details here. These are the fields that are available for the cross charge transaction details. If you are using the burdening in your project, then you can mention the details here. Copy transaction controls from template. Let's say N here. If we want to create the transaction control from this sheet, then we can use the transaction control sheet, and if we want that the transaction control that we have applied at the time of creation of template, that is project template, it should be copied from there, then you have to select here as yes, But if you want to create the transaction control through this FBDI sheet, then you can go to the transaction control sheet and you can create the transaction control from here also. If you have any other attributes, then you can fill out here. Give the project status here as active. And here you have to give the project currency. So we are taking it as USD. Now come to the task sheet. You can see here we have separate sheet for the task, but also from the project sheet you can also import the project task, but there is also a specific FBDI file for importing or uploading the project task. So you can use this sheet for uploading the projects, and you can use different sheet for uploading the task, and also you can do both the tasks with the same sheet, that is for file available for importing the projects. Now here you have to give the project name. Let's copy from this sheet. Now here you have to give the parent task number. Now under which task this task will fall. So this is the top task, and this will also be our parent task. So we have to mention the project name here, and now we'll create another task. Let's take it as 1.1, and for these tasks the parent task will be 1.0. Also for 2.0 task name or number, the parent task will be the project name. And for these task numbers, the parent task number will be 2.0. Here you have to give the planned start date for these tasks. That can be under the task range that you have mentioned for the project effective start date and end date. The date format is same, that is YYYMMDD. So giving the end date is not a mandatory field. Now you have the chargeable column. You should know one thing, that the top task are not chargeable, only the lowest tasks are chargeable. So 1.0 and 2.0 is our top task, so they will not be chargeable. So we have to give the values as y and n. You can see in the comment section, indicates if expenditure items can be charged to the task, only the lowest task level task can be chargeable. Valid values are y and n. So for the top task we will take n, and for the lowest task we will take y. Our next column is billable. So all the tasks can be billable. If in case there is any task which is non-billable, then here we have the values y and n. You can mention the n there. This project is not the capitalizable project, so we will leave this column. This is our project which is for the billable purpose and it is not for capitalizable purpose, so we will leave this column blank. Limit to transaction control. If we are leaving this column blank, then our system will read this as exclusive, and if you want to apply any transaction control for the inclusive purpose, then you can put here y and you can give the transaction control for the same. So we are, for the current purpose, we are leaving it blank. In the next session we will discuss how to create the project with the transaction controls. Here you can give the service type, work type, task manager, and if you are using intercompany transactions in the projects, then you can give the cross charge details for the task here. You can mention the organization here. And if you want to fill out any other attribute related information, you can fill out here. And right now we are not taking the transaction control, so we are not making any changes to the transaction control sheet. And here you have to give the project team members details. Manage users, because we need email information of the user. So we are selecting this user as our project manager for this project. What is the role of this user on this project is project manager role. Now while giving the start date, you have to keep in mind one thing, that this is the hire date of this user, so you can give the start date which should be after this date. instruction and CSV generation, and click on this generate CSV file. So it will generate 3 CSV files. Click on OK, and now move back to our application. Go to schedule processes. Now we need to upload this file in the interface table first. Then you need to import the same into the base table. Go to tools, and then go to schedule processes. Click on schedule new process. Click on search here. Now search for the process that is load interface file for import. Through this process, the sheet of the file will come to the interface table. Click on OK. In the import process, we have to select import projects. So this is the import process. Click on OK, and now you have to select your data file here. Click on OK. And then click on submit. Refresh this page. So it have generated 3 CSV files, and all these 3 are succeeded. Now we have to schedule new process for bringing it to the base table. Search for the process that is import projects. Click on OK, and then run this process. Now here you can, if you want to run this process for this specific project name, you can select here, but I am leaving it blank as this is optional. Click on submit, then click on OK. You can see the process is going on. It has status as running. So it is completed. can see the process is succeeded. The rest of the process of uploading the project through FBDI will be continued in the next session. We will discuss the further process of uploading the projects from the FBDI file in the next session. So for now, thank you so much.